Hello, I am Noel Sam Matthew. This video shows my fifth C# experiment, that is exception handling. The aim of a C# program is to perform the operations on an integer stack by demonstrating the use of exception handling. My C# program should have the following situations. First, a non-integer value is encountered in the stack. Second, the maximum stack limit. Third, when the stack is empty. This is a general syntax of exception handling in a C# program. The code which has a chance of creating or causing an exception is put in the try block. If an error is caused or an exception is created, it is called by the exception names E1, E2 or En accordingly depending on the exception which is caused. And even if the exception is caught or not, the code that is written in the finally block is executed no matter what. Now I'll move on to the code and I'll explain you how it works. So this is my C# program where I created a limit check exception which has been inherited by the input class called application exception. First I'll show you the main function and then I'll explain you the exception that I've created. The program initially starts by asking the user the maximum limit of a stack, after which a set of many options come up where the user needs to select one of the above. Like the user can push the element in the stack, even pop the element, or even display the elements that are available in the stack. If the user is pushing the elements in the stack, if the maximum limit that is being entered by the user is reached, then it creates an exception which is handled by the limit check exception that we have created. And if we move on to case 2, when we are trying to pop the elements in the stack, if all the elements have been popped and still we are trying to pop the elements out of the stack, then again an exception is caused where it has been handled by the limit check exception that has been created. So accordingly, this is the main function that I've created, and now I'll show you how this popping and pushing in the stack works. So this is my exception catch class where I've created different functions like enter underscore input to push the elements in the stack, tell underscore input to pop the elements out of the stack, and the display function where I can view all the elements that are currently available inside the stack. When the maximum limit is not reached, it one by one increases the top value and then stores the elements in the stack. If the maximum limit is reached, then it throws a limit check exception that it can't insert the element because the stack is full. If you move on to the del underscore input function, it one by one pops the element out of the stack and decrements the top value. If there are no elements available in the stack, then it throws a limit check exception that it can't delete the elements because the stack is empty. So I've shown you my whole program. I've showed you how I created my exception, that is the limit check exception which has been inherited by the application exception, and I've shown you my main program and I've explained the code. Now I'll show you how my program works by showing you the output. We have to first enter the maximum limit of the stack. We'll enter it as 3. We will push the element first. We'll select option 1. I'll put the value as 5. I'll again push the element. I'll give it as 6. Again push the element. I'll give it as 7. Now I'll again try to push the element. As I've given the maximum limit as 3 and I've already entered 3 elements, it should show an error. So therefore it is showing that we can't insert the element as the stack is full. Now we'll try to display all the elements that are available in the stack. We'll select the option 3 then, and you can see the elements that are available in the stack. Now we'll try popping the elements out. So I've selected option 2. First element is popped. Again, second element is popped. And once again. Now we've seen that we have popped all the elements in the stack and now the stack is empty. Now it should handle the exception and it should show the output accordingly. So we'll try again and pop the elements that are available out of the stack. Now as the stack is empty, it shows an exception that it can't delete the element as the stack is empty. So therefore I've shown you guys how my program is working and I've shown you how my output is coming. So thank you for watching my video once again.